You're so good. 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 You're so good, you're so good, you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good.
Welcome to Club Shada episode 381. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody is in their best feelings, just like I am. Everything is good out here in Lisbon. It is 9:35 p.m. I can't believe that I started this live on time because it's been complicated. Listen, everybody, put the flag of where you represent in the chat. Put the flag of where you're watching from or where your heart is, or both. Listen, whatever flags you need, put them here in the chat. Don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to share it to whoever needs to see it. And of course, if you're watching from the replay, hi from back in the days. Hi from 2024, 4 years after the pandemic. Big up to everybody watching from X. Big up to everybody watching from LinkedIn. Big up to everybody watching from YouTube. And of course, big up to everybody watching on Twitch. Make sure you ask any question you want in the chat and or in the comments if this is what you need to do. Whenever you have to do it. This show is brought to you by ShadaWear.com. I'm wearing the brand new, oversized Sushiro t-shirt. And it is sponsored by our stream royalty, Black Free Thinker, with a $5 donation. If you want to become the main sponsor, you can just donate $6 and then you will replace our main sponsor. Thanks to all our sponsors who have been supporting this show with avec vos deniers. I think that's not a good idea for the microphone. The lollipop is not a good idea at all. What are we gonna do? Listen, before I say hi to everybody, I'm gonna turn on my AC. Listen, I gotta tell you one thing about my house, right? This is my office. That's where I live. The rest of the house lives out there, right? The kitchen is behind this. And as long as I'm not live, this house has been quiet. Listen, it's been quiet. I was about to do a very bad comparison. Anyway, it's been quiet. And soon as I start the live, I can hear them. They just started screaming. They have like a psychological thing. When they know they're not supposed to make noise, that's why they want. So in my next house, it's going to be big. Listen, in my next house, it's going to be big enough so that my office is a whole apartment far away from them. That you will have to do cross 50-meter minimum to reach me. And when I'll be live, listen, anything can happen out there. I will not know. I will just arrive and be like, what happened here? Because, listen, it is what it is. I love my family. Listen, I wanted to tell you about what I did this weekend, and I wanted to turn on the AC. What did I do this weekend? Been negotiating for some shows. We have one show in Lisbon planned. We just closed one show in Africa. So these are the two shows of the summer. I mean, the three, because I had one in Algarve not so long ago. Let me turn on my AC. Sorry. Sometimes I don't remember what app does that. And you know, when you have an app for everything, I have an app for my fridge. I don't know why. Listen, this app for my fridge sends me notification every time the door is open. Like, all right, cool. So what did I do this weekend? I've been preparing my next album. I have to go back to working on my own cryptocurrency that I have released, but I have to continue like the rollout. And you know what is interesting about launching a cryptocurrency is you realize the number of crooks that are on the internet. Like, yeah, it is crazy. Let me send a text to my wife to stop yelling, because I don't know why. Why? Stop yelling. Thanks. There you go. It's the Guinea blood. There's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. As soon as she speaks her language, she yells. What are we gonna do? Nothing. Yeah. All right. So as always, if you have any question about tonight's subject, don't hesitate to ask your questions. And if you don't do it during the live, you can ask them after the fact, and I will reply. And of course, leave the flags in the chat. As I told you, the Socialina events. Big up London. So everything is centered about your name, right? The Socialina, Lina this, Lina that. That's ego. Now that's branding. Jujuzão, what it do? Listen, I'm still traumatized by your picture on Twitter. This thing looked comme ça ressemblait à une grotte, like une grotte rose. So I'm still traumatized. People go in there. Listen. Anyway, let's go for a good 1 hour of interesting conversation about interest. Listen, there's a lot of people on X. Listen, you know what I realized about my life? Most of the people who comment during the chat, during the live on the chat, are from YouTube and Facebook back in the days when I was there. The rest of the people, like, there's a lot of people watching from X, but they don't comment. It's interesting. Maybe their thing is not good enough. The system is not well made yet, so that people just, when they look at a live video, they are eager to comment or not. Who knows? What it do, Madze? How you doing? Listen, I didn't abandon my project. Did you see that there's a fake one? Listen, the crypto world is the land of the scammers. It's crazy. But I'm actually about to go. I was busy doing other things. I'm actually about to go and talk to some sites like Pump, Fun, etc. to see if there's a way to use that site to do all the liquidity stuff. That could be interesting. So I'm on it. So far, Zook Love London is not my name. Finally somebody from X. What up, Ayum? Ayum, where you from? Put the flag in the chat of where you are watching from. Same thing for you, Madze. Julie, you didn't put the flag today. Listen, when I watched the photo, I was like, who goes in there? This is too big. I mean, that's the photo. But on est là en pleine forme. Listen, let me tell you a story. There's 100 people watching from X. Wow. Listen, people from X, there's 110 of you. At least put the flag of where you're watching from. At least. Nothing else. The rest, you watching us talk. All right, listen. I'm going to talk to you about motivation. But before that, I'm going to tell you a story that... Oh my God. On peut pas avoir des sujets sérieux avec des gens comme vous. Anyway, listen. All right. You know, being a Congolese, original, coming from Congo, right? Born and raised in Kinshasa. I mean, raised in France, but at least the first 6-7 years I was in Kinshasa. When, you know, when I realized that I was becoming, you know, I mean, it was not, I never looked myself as a Zouk artist. But it was in the Zouk world that my songs blew up. And it was a mix of hip-hop, Zouk, Brazilian music, hip-hop, R&B. But people put me in the Zouk box. So straight away, the imposter syndrome kicked in. I was really feeling like, oh my God, like. And the worst part is my album comes out and I'm number one in all the sales. So I'm talking to you about end of 98, early 99. I'm like the biggest selling Zouk artist in the West Indies and in France and everywhere. I sold like Kassav level numbers. Nobody did those numbers. So at the same time, I was proud of me. But at the same time, imposter syndrome. I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, you know, like, I'm so, like, it's almost as if you're sorry to have better sales than the locals, the national, the people who come from the West Indies, right? Like, and so it was really me. Like, it was just a personal feeling of, oh my God, like, shouldn't be me. And one day, I go to a club. I'm in the club. Actually, I was not working there yet. I was not working with that company yet. It was a few years before. It was actually three years before. And I go to Club Section Zouk. And at that time, it was called La Pointe des Antilles. So I didn't know yet that it would be my office. Because at that time, it was a nightclub. Then after that, they took the nightclub that was at the second floor. They put it on the ground floor. And then the second floor became the offices that became Section Zouk Records. But now we are in 99, 2000. And it's a nightclub. So I'm there in the nightclub. And as I'm chilling and everybody's like, you know, wanting to do pictures with me and congratulating me for the album and stuff. And I'm like, thank you. somebody tells me that, oh, listen, the owner, so the boss of the club, the father of Aol Sangamalon, comes to me and say, oh, hey, listen, I have to introduce you to somebody who really wants to talk to you. And I'm like, yeah. So, I go to the VIP and they're like, yeah, there it is. I don't know if you know each other, but look, hey, Patrick Saint-Eloi, Kaysha, Patrick Saint-Eloi. So I'm like, oh my God. Patrick Saint-Eloi, the inventor of Zouk Love. Part of the legendary group Kassav. The inventors of Zouk. So now the imposter syndrome kicks in. Because I really want to tell the guy, oh, I'm sorry. I'm number one, but listen, this is your music. Like I didn't do it on purpose. Listen, I didn't know what I want to say. And he's like, oh, Kaysha. And I'm like, oh, hey, Patrick. You're like, and I'm like, he knows me. And then he shakes my hand and he tells me, thank you for what you're doing for Zouk music. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, listen, thank you for spreading our culture all around the world through your music. And people are loving it in Africa. People are talking to me about your music from New York. Everywhere. Your music is everywhere. And even here playing on national TV. Like, yeah, thank you for the Zouk. Thank you for the music that I invented that you are taking elsewhere. Well, after that, anybody that had a problem with me doing Zouk, I didn't give a damn. I was like, yo, listen, the inventor anointed me. Like, so all you haters can go piss off, because, yo, what else you need? So listen, that was a beautiful story to me. Something that I will always remember, and it really helped me. Those little moments, those are the moments that change your life as an artist and give you the motivation to continue to do and you feel accepted. Because some people, and it's usually the people that are not important, they will make you feel unaccepted, or they will give you conditions. But when the inventor, the one who spearheaded culture, tells you what you do is amazing, please go on, and if you need anything, I'm here, all you haters can SMD. Rest in peace, Patrick Saint-Eloi. Listen, that was one of those amazing moments that really changed my approach to being proud of what I do, if I can put it simply. At that point, you are very proud of what you're doing and how you're doing it. So yeah, good time. Born in Cameroon, grew up in Kinshasa, Mongafula. That's what I like. You sent me some. All right, cool. I'll check it out. Oh, Edgar, what up? What up? Tudo bem? Boa noite in Calgary. Well, it's not cold tonight. DJ Chubila, boa noite, tudo bem? Listen, I was having a conversation, right? I was having an interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about it was like two different subjects, but it's actually one subject that you can cut in two. And the conversation was, how do you stay on top? and why most of the people that were up there 25 years ago when I was up there, why most of them are not here anymore. Why they didn't stay on top. And why did I stay on top? And my answer to him, big up Eduardo, my answer to him was, well, I believe that, first of all, I never saw myself as on top. And because I never saw myself as on top, I never had any motivation to stay on top, because I understand that as you are rising, when you arrive to what people call the top, so you are the number one artist, there's only one way. It's down, right? And most people, they get caught up in that game, the game of staying on top. When in reality, the goal when you are making music, having a restaurant, being in sports, etc., is not to be on top. To me personally, what I'm interested in is the process of doing things, is the love of what I do. And you actually realize that the people who are in the back behind you, who are making money from you dreaming of being on top, they will motivate you to do everything you can to stay on top. And when you go down, they will invest in the next person. And you will have no more stamina left, and you will start going down, and you will be angry because you will remember with rancor the days where you were on top, and you will be hating on those who are on top now. And this is something that I'm completely, and I've never been interested in. I've never been interested in being the number one. I've never been interested in being better than everybody. I've never been interested in all that. I've been interested in expressing myself, putting my music out, making my money. And I remember having conversations with some artists, some artists that I was colleagues with, and they were always obsessed with being on top of the game. And today, all these people are pissed off because they don't realize. And listen, sometimes I tell them, bro, I'm 50, you 53. We're not supposed to be on top. Like, if you think about it, we're not supposed to be in the clubs jiggling for people, for women, or this is not supposed to be at our age what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to, yeah, listen, it was fun when we were 20, 25, 30. But normally at that time, that's where you're building. And you're supposed to build for the next phases of your life. I understand it's great, but feeling that I want to stay on top is an ego problem. What you should be feeling is, I want to build something. And listen, normally it should take you a long time to arrive on top. It should be step by step on the stairs of success, of working, grinding until you arrive on the top. And once you arrive on the top, normally it's the achievement of something. The problem is this: most people want to arrive fast, and they will do everything to arrive fast. And they will be, they will work in a way where if they can take all the shortcuts to arrive on top and not learn nothing on the way, they will do it. The problem is, once they arrive on top, they forgot why they were here. To me, fame and success and the women and all these things is a byproduct of your hard work. The goal is the hard work. The goal is whatever you set for 30, 20, 50 years in front of you when you are 20. So a success that arrives after a year or two should only be one step and one victory of a battle, not of the war. And the problem of most people is once they arrive on top, they forgot about all that. Or maybe they never thought about that because that's not their ambition. And what happens is that they get caught up in their ego with the idea of, yeah, I have the best party. I have the most people in my party. Or I got the best songs. People love me. Or when I do shows, there's 5,000 people coming, etc. Listen, all this will fade with time because it's how time goes. Like back in the days, it was Fred Astaire, then it was Michael Jackson, and before that there was some others, then it was Elvis, and then before that there were Sinatra, and then Madonna, and then now it's Drake, and then in 10 years it's gonna be somebody else. It's just normal. And when you are on top, enjoy. But don't forget that your goal was not to be on top. Your goal was to build something, a catalog, a legacy, something you can pass on to your family, generational wealth. And most people, they lose sight of that. So at a point, that guy was asking me, yeah, but what about you? Why you don't think like that? I was like, I don't know, maybe it's my education. But I never thought of being number one. Like I never cared about that. Listen, one day I was sitting with Nichols. He was saying, yeah, you number one, but I'm number two. Look at the sales of these artists. And I was like, bro, I don't care. It's like, I don't know why I'm competitive. I said, bro, I understand. I'm not. And I understand you might be competitive because you have your objective. Maybe your objective is to shine or to show to everybody that you're the one. These are not my objectives. Like my objectives are building something that I can look in 30 years and be like, I built this. And the pyramids that I'm building have to stand the test of times. In 200 years, 300 years, these songs have to be there, available, and being streamed to people, and my grandchildren enjoying that, or me, if we discover life forever through virtuality or whatever. Hey, listen, money has to be continued to be made. That's how I think. And the heart, it makes you infinite. And if you listen to the intro of my third album, that's what I say. I said, yeah, I'm infinite through music. And most of these people, they just want the light. They just want to be famous. Listen, being famous is not a job. It's not a job. Like, listen, I have friends. I have a friend, he makes parties, right? He was a DJ. He was DJing. At a point, it was like, yeah, people are hiring me, paying me $200 to DJ in this club. And people come for me to the parties. So you know what he did? He started organizing his own parties. Organized his own parties where he was a DJ and a promoter. Now, he's not getting paid $200. He's getting paid for every people that enter the club. So if he has, I don't know, 100 people coming in the club to see him play, and he makes, let's say the club pays, gets the ticket are for, let's say $20 or 20 euros per at the door, and he's 50-50 with the club. If he has 100 people, the club makes 1,000, he makes 1,000. He pays security, whatever. Now he makes, let's say he makes 800 or 700 per party. 2 parties in the weekend, 1,004. When he was just DJing, he was making 400. This is what you call progression, ambition. And at a point, after 1, 2, 3, 4 years of doing this, you know what he did? He took all this money and opened his own club. Small club, 100 people max. But now, every time somebody comes to the club, he makes money from the door. He makes money from the bottles, the drinks, from everything. And he makes his own parties at the teams he wants. And he hires DJs. And he can form DJs that work for him. Put them as with a salary instead of whatever. And that's how you build an empire. And I was telling that person, he was like, yeah, but I built a club, etc. I was like, yeah, so where's your club? Oh, this country, this region in my country. I said, okay, when do you build a second one? He was like, a second one? I was like, yeah, of course. You take that club, everything, you see how much it costs you to build that, your small bar club, how much it cost you? Oh, it cost me that amount. Okay, cool. How long did it take you to make that amount back? He said it took me 6 months. I said, okay, so let's say you take the next 12 months, half the money you save it to invest in a second club. When you have 2 clubs, it will only take you 3 months to have a third club. Once you have 5 clubs with 5 directors, and now you stop being a DJ, you get on the top. Now you have a network of clubs in your city. It's time to branch out, open a new one in another city. This is, to me, the difference between people who just want to stay on top of this level and people who, when they arrive here, they go to the next level. When I did On the Quoi and when I did Bounce Baby, when I did One Love, when I did Question, listen, every time I did a hit, people told me, you have to do another one, the same. And I was like, no, it's done. I did the best song of that category already. I don't need to do another 10 to look the same. I want to do something of the next category. And once I have enough catalog, I'm moving to the next level, which is buying more catalog so my catalog become bigger, and then turning this into a stock option. But that's the way I think. A lot of people will think different. A lot of people, yeah, listen, they just want to enjoy their shine, their 15 minutes of fame, and then after that they cry because, listen, the more money you make, the more money you spend. So listen, once you are famous, especially if you're famous very young, all this money you spend it very fast. It is what it is. This is the way money works. Listen, if you have a lot in your pocket, you're gonna have bad habits of spending it faster, especially when you're young. And when you look back, you're like, damn, I made that much money. Where is that money? But if you have the mindset, you will know that some of this money can be invested in different things. Look, I bought this microphone that I've been recording with for the last 20 years, probably. I bought it in 2005? And I bought it with the money from a show. And then I bought computers. I bought everything that could help me achieve and be better at my mission. And my mission was never to be famous. That's why every time somebody, oh, we don't see you anymore, I'm like, and a lot of people, when people tell them that, they feel hurt in their ego. Me, I'm like, I'm almost saying to these people, you don't see me? Yeah, it's normal. It's normal. Because I'm doing things that I don't need to be in front to do. I come in front from time to time. The rest of the time, I'm busy doing something that generates way more money than what happens in the lights. I'm in the back, making the real money. So I believe that staying on top is the worst thing that you could do. Wanting to stay on top is never a good idea. I know. Your music brings people of different, what is CA? Thanks anyway, Sergio. There it is. Your music brings together people of different cultures and ethnicities. We love you from the Cape Verde to Cato. Thank you so much, Sergio. Thank you so much. Edgar, I'm a fan of Patrick since the 80s. My first personal contact with Patrick was through emails in 1997. The first time he replied to me, I felt so happy as a kid. Yeah, listen, that's amazing. This guy was such a beautiful, beautiful soul. Him and you were the first on Afro-Caribbean artists understanding the power of the internet. Yeah, listen, I remember building my website, Kaysha.com in 1996. And yeah, if you go there, you will realize that, yeah, it's, and actually go to Kaysha.com/subscribe to receive an email every time I post something in there. That's important. But yeah, the power of the internet is something that we understood very early. And because we were trying to expand. And I think just like me, he was never satisfied with the success of the local thing. It was supposed to be a world thing to be meaningful to us. Because it was not just, I just want to be heard by the people in Paris no, I wanted I remember when I was signed to Sony, I was like, yo, I want my album in Japan. And my album came out in Japan, all Japanese characters. Listen, I wish I had a copy of that album. Let me see if I can find online. Kaysha, I'm ready. Japan. Do I have the Japanese version? I don't know. I don't even know what label, but it came out on the Japanese label with all the cover in Japanese and stuff. That was crazy. You are an amazing artist, Kay, and a wonderful human being. I'm so proud of you for your career. Thank you so much, Juju. Thank you. I just work hard. I think that's the difference. And this brings us to motivation. I believe that is part of the same thing. I believe that in my conversation, I had interesting conversation with two different people, because I was having a conversation with Eduardo, and at the same time I was having a conversation with MJ, and we were talking about why a lot of artists don't try to be more than what they are. And I see this a lot. Like, a lot of artists are complaining about not having the support of people who would come and invest in their art. And understand, when you don't have money and you don't even know how it works, and you just want to sing, so you need people to pay for the beats, you need people to pay for the studio, you need people to pay for the distribution, you need to be somebody to pay for the music video, somebody to pay for the promo and to put everything in the radio, somebody to have a network of all these things. If you're 15, 16, 17 years old, it's completely normal that you need to have somebody to take your hand. But what makes the difference between a career like mine and a career like anybody else, a lot of others, is the ambition and the motivation. Those people have no ambition and no motivation, so they don't have stamina, because they don't understand that, listen, my first album, I didn't invest in it. I didn't invest in the plane tickets, etc., to go there, to go in South America, live there. And I will always be thankful to Jean-Claude Tinoé for taking me and bringing me from France, taking me to South America in Cayenne, Guyane, and stay there for a whole year in his house and go in the studio with Edouard Sinclair and record with Marc Béhari in Cayenne and record my whole album. I had no idea how much it cost. Listen, I was just making my art, and it was amazing. And By the third album, I had a partner and we were doing 50-50. By the fourth album, I was paying my studio by myself, paying my engineer by myself, and still just having somebody to take care of distribution and everything. And I was like, okay, how much to record? Bro, I'm gonna need 5,000 to record in my studio and do all the engineering, etc., etc. Where's your studio? Oh, it's in my house. Your house? Interesting. Okay, let me go there. Arrived there. First thing I did, Pro Tools, this microphone, these things, that thing. Interesting. Taking notes. Record for a few months, and at the same time take notes. Look at the plugins he's using, etc., etc. And then I went to the store, and I was like, okay, how much to buy all these things? And the store owner told me, you're gonna need the computer is this, the microphone. Okay, you need at least 7,000 to 8,000. Okay, interesting. So you know what I did? I told my manager, listen, for every show that I do, you remove 800. This is my rent. For every show that I do, you remove 1,000. And after that, you give me my money. So let's say I do, let's say I got paid 2,000 per show. The first show I did, she would remove 800. And she would take her part. She would take her percentage, 500. So she would remove 800 and only give me nothing, because she would actually remove everything. She would remove 1,005. So she would move 800 plus another 700. The next show I do, she would remove 300 and give me the rest. And now, and I would tell her, don't give me, just give me the money for my rent, and everything else. Every time we do a little bit of shows, remove 1,000 and give me 500. And we did that for the next 10 shows. So first show, pay my rent, and then had nothing. Every other show, she would remove 1,000 and I would have 500. Every show like this. And hey, listen, I was fine. I was doing 2 shows a week, 3 shows sometimes. So pam. Once I had 10,000, she told me, yeah, listen, I have 10,000 on the side for you. What you want me to do with it? And I was like, bring me everything. So, and now you can start paying me normal from the shows. Good. I went to the stores. I went to the store, the music store, with my 10,000. Bam! All right. I need this Mac, this screen, this microphone, this program, these plugins, these sample CDs, everything. And by album number 5, my bro Kynix told me, hey, you recording your album in my house? I said, no, I'm recording in my house. What? Yep. And I started recording by myself. So from album number 1, I was dependent on people. And when I arrived at album number 5, so album number 1 was 1998. Number 2 was 1999. Number 3 was 2003. Number 4 was 2004. And 2006. So in the span of all these years, 8 years, I went from being completely dependent from people to being completely independent. And with the money I made from album number 6, I bought the masters of album number 1 and 2. And then I own all my stuff. And then I got 100% of the copyright from everything. Because that was my whole business plan from the get-go. And motivation is the currency. Motivation is what makes the difference between people who put all their energy in that first single trying to be famous and people who like just, yo, listen, I will do songs and songs and songs and songs and songs until I have so many songs that I'm making money as I'm sleeping. Because listen, a hit lasts a year. Listen, today, with this generation of people who are all like Nemo and forget everything in 5 minutes, a hit will last you, a month. Well, listen, I'm not the good example because my hits have been lasting for 20 years and okay. My TikTok trend is 3 years now. So I'm the wrong example. But most people, they love a song and then there's too many songs. So they forget about the next song quick. So what you need is to understand, how do I survive in this music industry and how do I survive for a long time? And the only thing you have to do is to have enough stamina and enough motivation to not abandon after your first song or after your first 10 songs. You have to keep going. And most people, they don't keep going. They end up abandoning ship quickly. First song usually. Second song sometime. First album or whatever. Listen. I started performing for free in 1992. 32 years ago. And between 1992 and 1996, I was performing for free in every party, everywhere. I was doing freestyles. I was building money for free. We take the subway, arrive at the party, perform, and then move. Sometimes we would do an afternoon freestyle, then a party at night, then a party in the morning, etc., etc. Then we would go to Le Bandouche and talk to David Guetta and say, yo, can we freestyle? And he would let us freestyle. And we were building our name in the French underground scene and the different scenes in France. And by the time I met Jean-Michel Rotin, that's when I started dancing and performing in his show. And at the same time, I was doing my own shows. And I was getting paid something like, it was in francs back then, so something like 100 euro. 100 euros per show. And I was using that money to make tattoos, actually. But at the same time, I was building my name in the West Indies. So when my album came out, everybody knew who I was because I was performing in the last 2 years with Jean-Michel Rotin, and I was jumping in the crowd, and I was making his show better than the show was before. So by the time I arrived with my solo album, I had a crowd waiting for me in the West Indies. So this is 6 years of building from 92 to 98. And a lot of people believe that I arrive out of nowhere. No. You don't see what has been brewing in the dark. You only see the results. And this makes the big difference. So by the time I released my first album, the first thing I do was send letters everywhere in the world with my CDs. And today, I have an international career. And listen, I could just chill and count my money. But no, because I'm a motivated person. Because I understand that the motivation is my currency. I'm always motivated to do new songs. Always motivated to try new stuff. Always motivated to try new genres. and to continue kicking the door. And listen, I've been so successful that I could say, okay, I'm good. But no, there's always the next level. I remember when I was telling Bodhisattva a few years ago when we were watching our Spotify for artists, and we were watching how many people were listening to us in the world. I was like, yo, listen, I have 50,000 people listening to me every month. This is crazy. 50,000 people. Can you imagine 50,000 people? And then after that, I was like, yo, my goal is to reach 100,000 people, 100,000 people that listen to me every month. That would be crazy. This is more than the number of CDs I sold on my first album. 100,000 people listening to me every month. That would be so cool. Then I arrived to 150,000 people. And it was like, hey, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, my next goal is 2,050,000 people listening to me every month. And he was telling me, bro, those are numbers. And I was like, yo, listen, 250,000 people listening to me every month is the next goal. And by 2016, 17, I arrived there on Spotify. Then I said, okay, next stop, 500,000 people. And then I did the Havana Bossa Nova remix, skyrocketed me to 500,000 people. And then I was like, yo, listen, I'm dreaming maybe one day of 750. And by 2021, something going on blew up. And now I have 1.3 million people listening to me every month. And listen, I could say I arrived. No, I now want 3 million people. And after 3, I want 5. And after 5, I want 10. Because I know exactly how much money it generates. And I know exactly what I'm going to do with that money. How I'm going to invest it and in what. And this makes the difference between my motivation and most of the singers' motivation. Most of them, they are motivated first by being heard, existing. Once they exist and they are in the light, they get blindsided by the light. They just want to stay in the light, stay famous. Me, listen, I never lost my objectives. My objective is after, next level. I don't care about the light. I care about the building of what I do. And once I do a pyramid, I do another one, another one, another one. Once you've seen 100 pyramids, you realize it's a spaceship. Once the spaceship is built, we're going to Mars. And this is the difference between my success and some other people. What are we going to do? We're going to do what we're going to do. Malcolm Beast, what up, bro? Listen, that last beat, I love it, but it's kind of hard to sing on it. But listen, I hope you enjoyed this show. It is 1 hour. I'm going to be live on TikTok in half an hour. So I'm going to go eat something and go put my daughter to bed. So if you want to continue having the conversation, listen to me on TikTok. And yeah, listen, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, put some rainbows in the chat. This show was brought to you by Shada, the gods of good fortune. Thanks to our sponsor, Black Free Thinker. If you want to be July big sponsor, do a super chat, and and you will become the main sponsor. Gelin, what it do? I hope you are doing great. I'm leaving you with my brand new single that came out this week, last Friday. It is called Do You Want It Now? And it is a pure banger. So make sure you go leave a comment under the video on the YouTube channel for this song called Do You Want It Now? And as always, I will see you when I see you, which is, yo, listen, I respected the 1 hour. I love it. I'll be on TikTok. As I said, I'll be on TikTok in half an hour. So for another hour. So we see each other out there. All right. Shada gang, always a pleasure. See you Sunday for a listening party. All right. Bless and stay motivated and never forget what are your goals, whatever your business is. All right. Bless.
There's gonna be a murder on the dance floor, and you the main suspect. Gotta say your body's everything, everything, girl. Sexy mama, will you dance with me? Cause I'm feeling tomorrow might be too late. So do you want it now? Don't wait until tomorrow. Do you want it now? It might be too late tomorrow. You should know I've been watching you. Girl, I've been watching you. You should know I've been making moves to get with you. So baby, do you want it now? Let's not wait until tomorrow. Do you want it now? Might be too late tomorrow. So do you